We are back with this breaking news of a plane crash in Colonia, New Jersey. Plane crashed into a house in Colonia. This is on Berkeley Avenue. The house is on fire, and the flames, though, are now under control, I should say. But as we're taking a look at video from earlier, this happened at 11 a.m. This house burst into flames, and the fire spread to a home next door. The pilot was the only one on board that single-engine plane, but a woman who was next door was able to escape the flames.
Yeah, the fact that there was no civilian casualties of any of the homes that caught fire is a blessing there. The FAA on the way to investigate this crash, which took place at this home at 80 Berkeley Avenue in Colonia. Dan Rice is with us right now. If we can patch Dan in to just talk about, Dan, the conditions here today. Obviously, you're our chopper pilot under normal circumstances. You're not in the air today. Can you talk about the low ceiling at 11 o'clock, the time of this crash, and what that may have played into this crash? All right, we do not have Dan right now. So, okay, sorry, we do.
Start again, please.
Dan, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so with the visibility and the low ceilings, it does make it hard for us in the helicopter to get up in conditions like this. I believe at the time that this happened, it was about an 800-foot ceiling. It's a relatively low ceiling. That's why we're not flying. Jim didn't fly this morning. I'm about 6 driveways down, and the smoke's still billowing up, disappearing into the clouds. Now, airplanes have a different set of rules they can fly by than what we do in the helicopter, instrument rating. And from what we understand, the plane sounds like it was going to the airport we fly out of in Linden. So we're about 3-4 miles away from Linden Airport. Obviously, something catastrophic went wrong with the flight. But this is the type of conditions that we wouldn't normally fly in, but doesn't mean that this plane shouldn't have been flying. It's just obviously something went wrong during the last part of its flight.
But clearly, weather may have played a significant role in this crash.
Oh, absolutely. There's no visual way to see the airport from where I'm standing or where they would have been at altitude. They wouldn't have been able to visually see the airport, so they would have had to rely on instruments to get back to Linden or to get into Linden Airport.
Dan, we're looking at pictures on the screen right now from a little while ago when the homes were engulfed in flames right now. The live pictures show that the firefighters have essentially put the fire out, but you said just a few driveways away down there. Can you just describe the scene for us at this time?
It's a relatively calm scene at this point. Dozens of fire department personnel are still on the scene. When I got here about a half hour ago, I could still see water being poured into the house to try to get the fire more under control. PSE&G is here on the scene. They just disconnected the power from the area homes, so to help assist with that. The gas company also on the scene to try to make sure everything is taken up there. But just a lot of people trying to assist the situation. A lot of fire department, and the mayor just did a press conference a few minutes ago, updating everybody on the situation.
We wanted to find out, in regard to the pilot's condition, have you seen any ambulances being rushed to the scene at this point?
There are numerous ambulances here. From what we understand, at this point, they can tell it's only the pilot that was on the airplane, but the mayor was unable to give an update on the condition of the pilot at this time.
All right, Dan, thank you. Yeah, so as Dan just mentioned there, and as the mayor mentioned a moment ago, one person on board the plane, the pilot, his condition unknown at this point, but no civilians were injured. There was an 80-year-old woman in the house adjacent to the house that was hit by the plane that was able to escape unharmed. So the good news there, no civilians on the ground were injured with this crash. As I mentioned, the FAA en route to the scene right now to get an update and exactly find out what went wrong with this plane. But that is the situation as we're showing you live pictures and tape pictures now.